Hello my dear Taurus, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between January 16 and January 31st, 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. So I want to wish you a happy new year and happy holidays for everyone that have a different calendar. Thank you so much for the year that passed by and for all of your beautiful support. So I used Chart of the Hidden Realm by Barbara Moore and illustrated by Julia Jeffrey, and I will start shuffling your cards. So when I open your deck here, I see the Hierophant and the Magician. That's powerful. So the Hierophant, it's your card, and the Magician is Mercury. So it's about communication. The Hierophant is, of course, the tribe, kind of the tribe shaman. So you need to speak up as a shaman. You need to speak up as the person of wisdom. You need to start to communicate who you are for real. So it seems very important since these two cards is showing themselves for you like this. Okay, so I call the Divine with love and light. And I call the 4 archangels. Here we have the 7 of Cups. So 7 of Cups, it's a little bit like a bad self-esteem, not feeling loved, not feeling worthy. So it might have been a situation in your life that have made you feel a little bit used and abused and victimized. So you need to get over that and step into your strength. So 4 archangels, I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world. And here we have also the 4 of Swords for you. So still this with you being tired and a little bit lack of energy. It's still something. Knight of Swords here, 4 of Swords. It might be that you have an air person in your life that can, by their sometimes bad behavior, can show you that more things are allowed. You don't have to be perfect all the time. It's something more sharp. It's like you have been maybe very loyal, but in your shadow there's more of a sharpness. So this might be something that you need to integrate, like being more smug and smart, and also maybe having a plan, or be able to see things ahead a little bit. Okay, so I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Taurus viewers. And here you have the sun also together with the Mercury. So Mercury is the planet that's closest to the sun, Magician. So it's the messenger that comes with the soul's message. So it's something very important that you need to hear, and it's going to come from inside of you. So you really need to listen, okay? It's something from your soul, wants to express itself against the rules that you have made in your life. And here you have 3 of Cups and the Magician. So, and the 3 of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, here's again your card, and the World card. So I'm sensing Venus and Taurus and this air sign situation. So it's like you need to choose your friends maybe a little bit better and be more watchful, like with this 4 of Swords. Watch more than you speak, okay? So I want my dear Taurus, 9 of Wands, okay, and Ace of Pentacles. I want my dear Taurus to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So the 9 of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles, it's like you're protecting yourself against something that you really want. It's something that you want to have, but maybe you have become suspicious of it for some reason. But there's a new beginning there. We will see more about that. So I will just tune in for a few seconds. So, my dear Taurus, second part of January 2018. So getting used to a new year. This is your future going into February. This is your now, the second part of January. This is December, first part of January. And here we have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands has come a lot we have failed to mention that it's probably because we went to the Sagittarius age. Okay, so we went into Capricorn around 22nd of December, but before that we were in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is usually not coming as the King of Wands, usually the Knight of Wands. But this is talking about a maturity with Sagittarius. Mercury, we also had Mercury in Sagittarius moving retrograde. So I'm thinking it's some kind of wisdom that people need to learn. And probably it's mostly about the male part. It's like the feminine is watching the male, if the male is growing. We have the shadow dance here. So it's this, it has been some kind of an imbalance between you and other people. It doesn't have to be masculine and feminine. It can be any kind of people that has been some kind of abusive situation just because people doesn't acknowledge their shadow, and maybe also with the Nine of Wands doesn't acknowledge their strength. We also have the Ace of Wands here. So the Queen of Swords is saying this with the Nine of Wands, Ace of Pentacles situations again, that you one part here has a very great attraction towards a person that might not have been the best team player, but with the situation that was going on this fall, we were going through Jupiter was going into Scorpio. We also had Venus and Mars and Mercury travel through Scorpio, and then they were traveling into Sagittarius together with the Sun. So Sun is Leo, King of, and then we had this fire sign Sagittarius. So I think it was a situation that called masculine people, masculine entities, any gender. Masculine, then I mean like a person that's mostly very problem solving, taking matters in their own hand, having plans, having schemes, future oriented. And feminine is more receptive, more watchful. The grass grows on its own accord. It's like nature just sits there and creates abundance. So the masculine side of you has awakened spiritually. That's the short story of this. It might also be like a fire person in your life, of course, but it might be a masculine person in your life or yourself that has awakened spiritually. Probably because maybe the feminine stopped the game in some way, like it stopped the shadow dance and said, well, I'm not playing anymore. So that's usually a trigger for spiritual growth. When we don't do the same thing and accept a different result, we do something else and it's triggering growth. And here we have Three of Pentacles. So either you know it or not, you are now in a cooperation, maybe with the person that has been your worst enemy. It's like you're working on something from different sides of this. It's a holy trinity: Three of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Eight of Wands, again Mercury in Sagittarius, and here we have Four of Swords, that's Libra. So it's about watching before you take action. Sagittarius is all about taking action. So maybe there's like a new dance move here where one have been stepping back and the other one steps forward to take action, and balance is being restored. And here we have the future, so going into February, and we have the Hierophant again. So it's something you need to learn, teach people something, but it's like you have a blockage between yourself and your soul, like your existence as a human being and your soul. It's a wound here, some kind of feeling of not being like adequate or being good enough or spiritual enough or whatever. Just accept yourself as you are. You don't have to have like wondrous spiritual encounters or hearing people talking in your head. That's usually a sign of schizophrenia. So be down to earth, be yourself, and value yourself. You don't have to have very high spiritual experience to be a highly spiritual person. We are here to have an earthly experience, not to fly away without our body somewhere in astral projections. That's something that we can do to get some more knowledge. Here we have the magician, like to communicate with other worlds, other dimensions, but it's not where you are supposed to be. You're supposed to be in your body, and in some way you feel like you're not good enough because of this. And Taurus is all about the body, so it's like almost not, it's like not loving yourself, okay? So Taurus, this is your past, and here we have the moon. So the moon is a card of its treasures hidden in the deep dark corners, sometimes in the bottom of the sea, sometimes in the deep dark forest, sometimes in the bottom of your subconscious, sometimes in the deep dark forest, like the roots of your memory. It might be memories from past lives coming through here, or knowledge that you have had previously before you went down in this life and forgot about everything. And usually how you retrieve this knowledge again is through pain, because it's stored in certain vibrations that we as humans experience as pain. Really, it's just different vibrations. So you might have had the blues a little bit, feeling down, or feeling like people were out to get you or not loyal, things like this. It's what's happening in those dark waters or those dark forests. And here we have the Eight of Cups. So Eight of Cups, it's like leaving people and situations behind. So it might be that you're maybe running from yourself, or someone in your life has been running from their own feelings. And wherever you go, there you are. There's still going to be the same frequencies. It doesn't matter really. Sometimes we need to leave people behind because they are abusing us and stealing our energy. And often this is the case with the Eight of Cups, that we have given and given and given, and they were like barrels with hole in the bottom. So no matter how much you gave them, they just wanted more. They were still empty. And you eventually became empty too. So this might be why you have left something behind. Maybe also because some kind of betrayal. With the moon card there, we also had the Three of Swords shifting by, so that's usually a sign of betrayal. And well, eights are eternity symbols, so usually when we go, we end a relationship with an Eight of Cups. It's usually not the end, not at least of that karma. It will continue because it's not the World card. The Death card is even more better when it comes to ending of karma. Eight of Cups is just like a pause. You need vacation. Yes, Two of Pentacles needs vacation, maybe to be able to take a decision, like a decision about where your life are supposed to head from now on. It might be like really down to earth decisions. What kind of relationship? How am I going to invest in my marriage from now on? What kind of house do I want to live in? It can be those questions here with the Two of Pentacles, but it's also baby steps, like you're not in a hurry here, because with the Queen of Swords energy that we saw before, it's like you're seeing things. You also had the Four of Swords, that's very Libra-like. All the twos are also connected to Libra, making a choice that's balanced. So I'm thinking you're holding off because something has been maybe too much, a little too much, emotionally too much, and draining. So now you're becoming a little bit more watchful in your steps before you jump into something, or before you take the next step of creation. And here we have the Fortune Fairy. So fortunately the divine doesn't agree with you here. You want to take it slow. You want to, delay your coming. It's like you have something to contribute with, or you have something to say to your surrounding, like the truthful word, or it's some kind of change that wants to come, and you are delaying it, but the divine is pushing. So it's like they want to plant the seeds. That's you on earth, because it's like you have an important message or an important mission to come with. Message because of Mercury, and mission because of the 5, the High Priest card, Hierophant card. So if you have been delaying something, like when you were 3 years old, you already knew that you were supposed to be like a sing-and-songwriter, or you were supposed to be a healer, or you were supposed to be a like a space rocket scientist or whatever, and you have postponed it because the 7 of Cups, you're not good enough. It's some kind of blockage, shade between you and the sun. Okay, you put glare in the shade of the sun, you put shade in the glare of the sun. Oh, that's a really ancient poem. It's from actually clay tablets, and it's about the betrayal that Enki did towards his fellow gods when he rescued the human race. So you put shade in the glare of the sun, Taurus. What did you do? Okay, I agree on Enki on this. He saved the human race. We might regret it today when we see all the devastation, but still this was something that he did, and human beings have something very precious. We have our humanity, and if we were not ruled by outside authority, but actually loved ourselves and didn't have the 7 of Cups in the way from between our soul and ourself, like with the 19 Sun card that you have, the 7 of Cups and the Hierophant, you would be glorious, okay? And human being on earth wouldn't be a problem. What's the problem is that we are letting a small elite lead our lives because of their money hunger and hunger for power. So I think it's time for Taurus to take their power back, exactly as Enki did when he took matters in his own hand and saved the human race from extinction several times, actually, both from starvation and plague and floods and you name it. So the old myth of Enki and Enlil is really old. It comes from at least 6,000 years ago, and it's all the stories from those clay tablets or stone tablets are actually what made a foundation to the Bible later on, and the original is much more vivid and alive. So it's when Noah were waiting for the flood to come, he was like all nervous and walking back and forth and really sad for all the people that was going to die. You don't see this in the Bible. So I recommend you to read this old clay tablets. I have From Distant Days by I don't remember, Foster, Benjamin Foster maybe is his name. But that wasn't the first book I read. I read the first book in early 90s, and it was in Swedish, so it was Creation in New Light or something like that by Zachariah Sitchin. So it's very good if you want to see your Taurus history, okay? And here we have the 10 of Swords, so Fortune Fairy 10 of Swords. So this is how the divine see it, and this is how it's going to be for you, because it's some old things. It's like you have been bending your head before a curse. It's like you have been bending your head to avoid some disaster, and now the divine wants you to not be scared anymore, but actually face this, what you have feared the most, because it will take the curse away, kind of, okay, and it will free you. So that's the song again. It's haunting my readings. A song, it's and here you have this. You need to become more like a leadership quality, a spiritual leader. Yes, the song is Take Off Your Colors, No One Will Stop You. I think it came for you earlier, the month before. You can check the description box for that video. Okay, so here's your now, and here you have 9 of Pentacles, so that's connected to Virgo, number 9, the Hermit. Here you have 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. So self-love is the key to go through this dark night of the soul and to face those fears of the old, that has nothing really to do with today, because today is another energy, it's another rule. So you don't have to be afraid for the things you were once afraid of. It's actually to go through those gateways of fears is going to release you. It's going to make you step into your true self. And here you have a robin. In the legend says that Jesus had a robin in his torn crown, and it's why this bird's chest is red, because it stung itself on this thorn when it was trying to help Jesus to be free of that tormention. So it's usually come for it's very highly spiritual bird. It's talking again about this. You need to listen to yourself. And with the 8 of Cups, we have a 5 of Cups. So it's some kind of disappointment. It's like something you haven't really wanted to see. Maybe with your surrounding, or how you bend yourself to get liked or to fit in. It's something that you do to avoid disaster. And it's like you're not supposed to avoid this disaster anymore. You need to bring it on head on. There came a song for the water signs, Scorpio, Pisces. It's the Dolphins Cry with live. You can check it out in the description box for those videos, because it was attached to this card with the 5 of Cups, because it's about taking the wave when it comes, to not be afraid of your own emotions. It's like a purge here, and you have been preparing for this. You have been very tired, so you couldn't do the things you were supposed to do or you wanted to do, and it's like the divine has weakened you to a point where you can't behave in the way that you have done before. You are not as strong anymore, so it's like they're weighing you down, wearing you down, so you will have no shields. And why you are not supposed to have shields is because this energy wants to reach to you, and it needs to come to your fear or your worst nightmare scenario. And when that nightmare scenario has happened, it will trigger your spiritual growth. It will trigger your enlightenment and also your mission. Yes, and here we have the High Priest. High Priest, Priestess. It comes underneath the 2 of Pentacles. The High Priestess is also number 2. And you have the Moon again, because the High Priestess, she's ruling the Moon, or the Moon is ruling her, and therefore she's also connected to the water signs. So this is your intuition that wants to come, and it needs to come with this like minor or a little bit major catastrophe in your life. So it's going to calibrate you, or calibrate your way to be able to communicate with your own emotions. It's going to clear things up. It's going to be connecting you with your subconscious. So you're getting like old knowledge here. You have already been working for a while with retrieving it, but you wanted to take it slow. You didn't want to be overwhelmed or become depressed or burned out or something. But the divine says it's a hurry here. You're in a hurry. Okay, so they are not letting you take it slow anymore. It's like they're going to just splash you with this. And therefore you need to be much in your self-love and very grounded. So whatever happens, you can live kind of in the moment, like step by step in a moment. Take things second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour, and not think so far ahead. Because sometimes when a little bit of a catastrophe is happening to us, we start to think ahead, and we start to think about the past, like, well, I invested so much in this, or and all the things we were supposed to do, and that's not going to happen, and that's going to spiral you down into despair. So try to stay here and now, in the body, centered, breathe, take things like step by step by step, and just let the emotions splash over you. So this time won't have to be so long if you don't resist it. If you just let the emotions come to you. We are going to, like here in first part and second part of January, we are going to have 2 full moons. So it seems to be very hard on you, Taurus, with these moons. It's going to be like portals, getting you to connect with something, some kind of knowledge that you have had. So while the Eight of Cups is a person running from themselves or running from their own inner emotions because they are not healed, and wherever they go, there they are. The King of Cups is like a man of Tao. It's like a person that has become healed when he's in this beautiful position underneath the fortune fairy and flanked by the high priestess. So this is where you are aiming, Taurus, to become this whole person. You might also have a water person in your life that's either guiding you with love or with a little bit of abusive behavior until they wear you down, so you can't be that strong, reliable Taurus anymore that always taking care of everyone else. You going to be worn down, so the only one that you will be able to take care of is yourself for a while. And it's just to take away this shade that you have between you and your soul. Okay, and here we have the Page of Swords, so it comes with the Ten of Swords. So it's some delayed truth that wants to come out, something that you have not said, you have not taken like the bull by the horns here, Taurus. So now you're going to have to do this. You are going to have to be very brave and speak the truth, even if your voice shakes, no matter what that is. And it might be towards a water person, or it might be because you now are integrated with your emotions, so you can't hold back anymore. You can't keep your mouth shut anymore. You are going to have to tell people how it hurts. And it's usually like this because we are so stoic. I saw this the other day also. The human stoicism, it has also came upon our animals, because animals are usually they are following their natural instincts, and when they are scared they run, when they are angry they bite, when they don't want to do something they refuse. But humans can persuade the animals to do things that they don't want. We can persuade a dog, we can train the dog, we can yesterday I saw someone loading a horse on a big bus. It was going to go to a competition, and the horse didn't want to, so it put all its four legs like this, and then the owner said, well, come, and the horse went on that wagon anyway. But as soon as she closed the door on him, he or she started to kick and kick and kick and kick. So this is what's happening inside of you. You are putting yourself in a box and deciding that this is how you can act. You have decided that outside this box is not allowed. You're not allowed to go outside this box. This is your set behavior. But when you are connecting with your emotions, you won't be able to hold yourself inside that box anymore. This is going to start kicking, and so you are going to need to address that either by kicking the walls or just saying, tell people, communicate. Like those emotions are here for a reason. They are not here to be ignored. They are there to be like, I don't want to be inside of this box. I don't like to travel. I don't like to compete. I don't feel like I'm at my best today. I want to stay home, or whatever it is that the horse wants to say. What you want to say here can be so different, but you know what it is that you want to say, and you have held it back. Maybe you don't even know it, but with the Queen of Swords that you have, I think you're starting to be like you're starting to figure it out, because the Queen of Swords sees things from above. And you're starting to notice your different behaviors and your different things that you do. And when you're also lying, oh, it's fine. No, I didn't mind. Actually, I didn't. And your horse is kicking inside a box and say, I did mind, and I never want you to do that towards me again. So something wants to come out here, and it's not something that's going to wreck the world. It's going to make you being able to voice yourself better together with others. And when we are better on telling people how we are functioning and what we are feeling and what we want, And when they do the same, it's much easier to cooperate and to work things out together, okay? If you are just silent and you want the other one to guess how you feel, don't do that anymore. Start to voice your concerns. This doesn't have to be you, Taurus, that's doing this. It comes through a lot of water, so it might be a person that you're in love with, or a water person. So someone that's kind of your family, or just a water person. But so they might be going through something, and that's mirroring this, what's happening inside of you, but maybe they are doing it before you. So it can be like this sometimes. Apply it as it fits to your life, Taurus. Okay, and here we have the Two of Swords. So this is Libra again. Two of Pentacles, you have High Priestess and the Two of Swords. So it's much with this, you're hesitating, you don't want to take the big leaps, you don't want to take the steps, but it's also, I think, important here to talk about balance, because you want to balance yourself, but it's a big difference between, you know, finding your center of gravity and keeping yourself into a locked room. It's two different things. Okay, so with Two of Swords, it's probably something that you don't say out of courtesy, and it's partly because you want to keep balance as well, or maybe you don't want to show that you need other people. Maybe you want to be able to handle everything yourself, like a big boy or a big girl, and therefore you are keeping things a secret. The Five of Cups is a secret, like how you really feel, or someone in your life is keeping a secret from you, how they really feel. Maybe you have someone in your life that's tormenting right now, being very tormented by their own emotions, and they try to look very like they are very balanced, but they are not. And of course, that's a very typical masculine behavior, to pretend like everything is all right when it's not, to kind of keep this masculine exterior. But females do this too a lot, mostly maybe to be accepted by society and by other masculine people. But here we can't really do that anymore, because this force is so strong, and the divine has come with this, weakened you with some kind of minor or major disaster in your life that's going to make you very emotional, so you will have to start to voicing your concerns. And here we have a Three of Wands, and it comes underneath the Eight of Cups and the Five of Cups. So this, what's happening to you with this splash of emotions and being over emotional and up on the walls, is because your soul wants to be healed. Okay, this is the Holy Trinity. Mother, father, and child. So the child is this emotion. I don't want to go up on the horse trailer. Okay. The witch is the one that interprets. Okay, it feels like I don't want to go up on the horse trailer. The masculine is the one that says, no, I'm not going to go up on the horse trailer, or either to decide that, or to decide, okay, I will honor the person that I'm with, and I'm going to do it anyway. But it's a decision that the witch needs to make, and it's for the masculine part of you to do, either to refuse or to go along, like be the bigger person. And when you become strong like this, you actually start to have a choice, okay? You don't always have to follow the same rule that you have set for yourself. The room that you are in is suddenly becoming wider, because sometimes you might feel, okay, I can be the bigger person in this situation. Next time you will say, no, not today. I'm feeling not today. I don't want to do this. I'm going to stay at home. Sorry. So this might, of course, trigger World War III if you are together with someone that's very authoritative and wants their way through and doesn't accept. You have King of Wands here, Nine of Pentacles, Three of Wands. Doesn't accept, like this horse owner would probably not have accepted the horse saying no. It would have started to put ropes, or maybe back up to the stables and get help. Everyone would have pushed in the horse in the wagon anyway. But with the Hierophant that you had in the beginning, it's like you're stepping into your own authority. So if people are going to handle you like this, you are not a horse. So you're going to be able to voice your concerns and also take action. You know, a horse might not be able to move away or to file a divorce or get a new job as not a competitive horse. Okay, so but you have this option now because you are not just like a flock member. You are something more. You have stepped into your own authority. It's some little glitchy way for you to invite your soul, and the key is in your emotions. Okay, to follow them. The baby, okay, that knows. It's connected to the subconscious. And here we have a 2 of Wands. So still this with holding your horses, holding them back, not wanting to express this. But you see here, it's the Moon, the 5 of Cups. How long are you going to be able to hold this back? I wouldn't recommend it. It might end up in a volcanic eruption. But it's the 2 of Swords, 3 of Wands, 2 of Wands, 2 of Pentacles, 2 the High Priestess. So you're weighing your options, and I'm not going to say to you what to do. But as I said, sometimes you can be the bigger person. Sometimes you go with whatever your inner horse tells you. So that might be, it's like you have a little bit self-control here to make yourself being able to make the best choice in that situation, and not to bend your neck, but to follow your soul. So it's a big difference there as well. To just bend your neck to keep like quiet in the house and no conflict, being afraid of conflict, that's one thing. And to do something because you feel in your whole body that this is the right thing to do, that might be a thing to hold on to, hold off to, like hold like maybe not say things immediately, because you need to think, okay, is this in my highest interest? Am I holding off just to avoid conflict here? Am I afraid for something? And if so, what kind of catastrophe is it that I'm so afraid of? So take these moments. It's okay. Take these moments to ponder on that. But then you need to take a decision, and you need to voice things, because in other case you don't use your safety vent, and you will go off, and that will be something new. Taurus, being all mad. Yes, and here we have the 9 of Swords, so it's connected to the Moon and the 9 of Pentacles, of course, and also to the Hermit. So when you have experienced different pains in different situations, it gives you wisdom. For example, a little child, a couple of years old, they are going close to the stove. They're almost touching the hot stove, and their mother is screaming no with really high voice, so the child is getting all scared. Okay, so that is one way to be hurt, so you will learn what's good for you and not. And it seems like you have had this situation, a teaching situation. It's something that has repeated, maybe with a water sign, or when it comes to your emotional side of you, Taurus, and it has been a teaching event. It wanted to teach you something. Probably it wanted you to teach you what's hurtful or not. Maybe you need to make a list, like which people are, building you up and which one is tearing you down, and put more energy on the ones that builds you up, and start to forget about the ones that tear you down. They don't need to be in your attention span, because the things that you put attention to is the things that's going to be in your life. Okay, and here we have the Hangman. So you're really holding this off. Hangman. Okay, it's connected to the Empress and the 21 World card, which all I feel is connected to the feminine, of course, Empress, but also Venus and Taurus. So it's something that wants to be born here, but you're a little bit slow with it. It's like you still are refusing, even though the vibration of pain and vibration of truth is so strong. You're still not taking any actions, because you are deadly serious about fearing the consequences. So how long do you think you can hold against this? It's divine energy that wants you to be worn down enough, so you will start to kick yourself out of that box. Okay, the Hierophant. How long are they going to keep you in submission? And they, I mean the voices in your head. 10 of Swords there. Okay, so the voices in your head can as likely manifest in your outside world as a person. So for Taurus, the wisdom of the divination oracle cards, and it's the Yang energy. Okay, so we have got a lot of these cards lately, Yang, Yin and Yang. So you probably need more of, it's like you are holding on and not taking action while you should take action. Other people are taking action when they should actually hold on and wait for the other person to take their turn. So this is number 1. And you also had a Magician in the beginning. That's also number 1. So I think someone is waiting for you to be like ready, set, go. Okay. So the masculine principle of movement and creative activity, the power to make things happen, taking action. And I'm thinking about this, your childhood dream again, or the things that you know that you are here to do, but it might be too amazing for you to actually believe that you could do it. Circumstances are supporting action on your part. It's okay to make the first move. Trust that you will quickly know where you stand. In matters of the heart, there is movement towards your highest good. So go forth with assurance. Passion is in the air, and now is the time to dance to the tune of love. Take the lead. Yes. So time for some action, and you are like in this feminine yang situation where you're just waiting for something to fall in your lap. That book that you have been written, maybe you're just going to stumble across some publisher, or maybe someone going to discover you on the street. Okay, this fell for you. Sisters of the Spring Swallow, good fortune granted. That sounds very positive. So, and you see this fruitation. It's very like Taurus, like natural. You are the farmer after all. This is like this. It's time for a new light and new life to flourish. Springtime is upon you now. This is a sign of hope, new life and fresh starts. What has been cut back is now going to be spring forth into life. If you just let it, Taurus, this can't spring forth to life if you suffocate yourself or gag yourself. As you move into the springtime of your soul, there shall be much joy, energy and life returning to you. Yes. Relationship healing, being able to choose healthier and a more supportive relationship, and rekindling of a friendship or other positive relationship are indicated. I spot that as well, because it was something I talked about earlier. Okay, so my dear Taurus, I hope this helped. I hope I made myself somewhat clear with the allegories. But okay, so I want to wish you a happy new year. And also I want to remind you that I have a webpage, www.queenofcupstarot.se. SE is for Sweden. So you can check it out if you want to. And I want you to take really good care. And you are welcome back for the February reading that I will publish in the middle of January. So, okay. Bye-bye.